I am on my way to Wally World. Now, I don't buy groceries at Walmart. The only thing I buy out of the grocery department at Walmart is liver for my dogs. Maybe some ground turkey. They like that. I try to feed my dogs good stuff. And so I'll cook them turkey, ground beef, certain things like that. But they love liver, especially Rooster. But anyway, I'm heading to Walmart. It is getting towards the end of the month, so I expect a few people to be there. Not many. You see, where I live, even if EBT does not go through for November, I don't expect any kind of trouble. Because that kind of thing just doesn't happen where I live. And you may be asking, well, you don't know that. You might say, well, you don't know that. You don't know what people will do. Well, I will tell you this. They don't put up with that kind of behavior where I live. Anywhere near where I live. Now, Little Rock, that might be another story. I would not be going to a grocery store in Little Rock, because that's pretty much a blue city. Wouldn't do it. See, that's the problem. Now, a lot of these videos you're seeing on social media where it's showing somebody saying, I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill a cart and I'm running out of there and I'm stealing it. And I'm going to steal your groceries in the parking lot. A lot of them videos that you're seeing, got to really look at them. These people are an act. They want to stir things up. They're not really going to go out and do that, or maybe they are. They are trying to start a movement, as a lot of these people always do. They want to get the people stirred up, and they will probably succeed in that. You will see people going into the grocery stores and stealing food. They will probably be also stealing it from people in the parking lots, and you will probably see violence. And people might even get seriously hurt. I see a lot of these videos, and I'm looking at them, and they make it a point to tell you. I seen one last night. Yeah, I have 8 kids by 8 different baby daddies. And why would you even say that if you were honestly upset about something? Why would you even bring that up if you didn't want to stir trouble? You do. Because when you do that, you get views. You get views from a lot of, I don't even know how TikTok and all that pays, but it does. And so they get paid for that. Some of them might be people that aren't smart enough to figure that out, and they're making their own videos, but the difference is they're really going to do it. And where you're going to see most of the trouble, as usual, are these far left blue cities. That's right. Most of the trouble anywhere in the country is always cities. Because cities are packed full of people that are angry. They're angry. Some of them don't even know what they're angry about. They're just angry because everybody else is angry. And these cities have made crime virtually, unpunishable. You can do basically what you want, steal what you want, with no consequences. And when you do that, when you elect these kind of people that allow this, well, you're going to get what you voted for, and that's what you see. And these people enjoy this. They actually look like they enjoy this kind of lawlessness. It's unbelievable. None of that would fly where I live. You would be in jail so fast, your head would swim. And that is with most of America. Even in blue states, you have these small towns that don't think that way. Okay? It is usually middle-aged white women They are always stirring the pot. I'm sorry, ladies, but if you're one of these in the blue cities, you're probably in there with them. Not all white women, but it's a good majority of them. The same white women that are sticking up for these criminals that they wouldn't want in their neighborhoods, but somehow they're out there because it stirs up the opposite political party. And that is the only reason they're doing it. They don't want criminals, but they don't care. As long as it does the damage they're looking to do, they're happy. And there's, you know, there are men out there. There are the good share of men, well, males out there with them. Most of the ones I see that are on this side that loves crime and lawlessness, they're your wimpy type men. They're the ones that were bullied when they were in school. They were the ones in the drama club and, you know, the student council. They're not your men that are out building engines and sawing wood, and they're not those kind of men. Most of them couldn't change a tire if they got a flat tire. Most of them have never held a shovel or picked up a crescent wrench. They wouldn't know what to do. So they fit right in with this group, wanting to have illegal criminals in our country and fighting for their rights, lining up outside the detention centers, protesting for their freedom. Why would anybody do that is a so-called American? There are certain sectors of this country that they don't deserve to be Americans because they hate America. They hate it with a passion. If you didn't hate it with a passion, would you even be out there burning flags, which you have a right to do? Yes, somebody will comment, you have a right to do that. Yes, you do. But you're burning it, and you're also waving the Mexican flag. This ain't Mexico, Mac. It isn't. This is the United States of America, and we have one flag. And if you come here waving a Mexican flag, well, I would like to wrap you up in it and send you back. Yep. But these are the same people that do these kind of things to intimidate others. They don't necessarily probably like Mexico, but they know that it will infuriate you. They know it will get people upset, and they're trying to get their message across, and they'll use any kind of tactics. They even they're putting on costumes of Winnie the Pooh, and I don't even know the characters anymore. And they look absolutely ridiculous and insane. Yes, they are insane. They have a screw loose in their heads, painting their hair blue and red and pink. What is the purpose of this? Are they paid? A lot of people say, oh, they're paid protesters. Maybe they are. But I think a lot of them, you only have to pay a few. You pay a few, and then people are big followers. Okay, there's not many leaders in our society. There are only a few leaders, and the rest of the people are followers. So you find the ones that are good leaders, you make them do these radical things, and all the followers, well, they'll come out of the woodwork. You don't have to pay them. They're doing it for free. And that is how it gets started. Just a few paid people. They go in, and they already know, because there's been YouTubers that travel. They film these protests, and they're seeing the same people at different cities and different states. Those were probably your paid protesters by whoever's paying them. It would be somebody. I mean, you got to take a look at some of these politicians. Who would vote for these people with their beating on the drum and all the craziness? They're not for the American people. They want to turn this country upside down and become communist. What else could it be? I am so glad I don't live anywhere near any of that nonsense. But it is still the country I was born in and will die in. And I hate seeing it. And I know most of you hate seeing it as well. And now it's like every time you turn around, they're stirring up something else. Now it's the EBT thing. CNN. See, I look at every news channel on the internet because I want to see who's pushing what kind of crap. CNN this morning, right up there at the top, EBT, yeah, Trump's not going to fund EBT. Why would he? He's not the one he is not the reason that you're not going to get your Doritos or your Ho-Hos. He's not the reason. It's your own people are blocking it. They want to stir the trouble. They know they might get what they want if this sector of the population turns to lawlessness. They think that the president's going to go, oh my God, we got to stop this. Yes, anything you want. He's not going to do that. And I'm glad he's not going to do that. There has to be a point. I don't care if we have to send active duty troops into every one of these cities. We need to do something because it has to be, we have to put a stop to it. When you keep allowing this to happen, it's only going to get worse. And I've even had people send messages to me, I'm coming to where you are, taking your groceries. Well, I dare you to do that. I honestly dare you to try, first of all, they ain't coming here. I will tell you that right now. You would stick out like a sore thumb with your blue hair and whatever it is. You would not get away with it here. And, well, let's just say that I'm not going to be an easy target. No. And that's all I'll say about that. I have to watch what I say on YouTube because, well, I make a good living off YouTube. I don't make these videos for fun. I make them, well, y'all like them. But it is my job. And so I have to, it's a shame. But I do have morals. There are certain things I am not going to say. Because people, it doesn't matter what your political party is, you're still a human being, and I still care for human beings. I just don't like some of your behaviors. And you have every right in the book to behave any way you want. But you need to do this within the laws that we have put together that has made our country what it is. And when we have people coming in that don't want to abide by our laws, that have worked all these years. Maybe they're not perfect. Maybe we've always had some sort of trouble, but they, for the most part, have helped us have a very nice country to where we can have just about anything we want if we work at it. A lot of these people that are doing all this trouble, they have been failures in life. They are angry because they have failed in their life. They have not applied themselves to do anything, to work, to save. They have not tried. And I don't care what color you are, anybody in this country can have a good living if they try hard enough. You don't get nothing for nothing in the United States. That is how the country was built. You have to work for it. People that are rich, they had to work for that. Okay, some of them maybe inherited it, but how can you blame somebody for inheriting money? And there's that sector that just does not want to work. They just want to suck on the government's nipple, which is funded by taxpayers. Yes, I pay taxes. That's the news flash. I have to pay taxes. I have to pay Social Security. I have a bookkeeper that does all this for me. I don't worry about it. But yes, I do. You're going to say, oh, you're on YouTube. You're not paying no tax. Yes, I am paying tax. The only thing I do not pay tax on is my VA benefits. Okay, no veteran does. We don't pay tax on that. So, to allow these cities to to do this. And the governors and the mayors are in the bed with them. They like this lawlessness. It has to end. And I do not, and most people are saying, well, when the elections come, these people will be out. I don't think they will be. I think they'll vote them right back in. You have that many people that feel that way, that have these insane, absolutely insane ideas. You know, we tried their policies, the no bail, the defund the police. None of it worked, and it never would work. And they're angry about that. The last 4 years before the current president was a joke. I was embarrassed as an American every time that man stepped up to the podium. What's he gonna screw up next? Excuse me. And I was so happy the day that man stepped down, because he was not running the country. All these nutcases were. You know that now. You just won't admit it, a lot of you. Anyway, still be careful after the first of the month. I hope he does not, absolutely does not fund the EBT program. And yes, there are a lot of people that really depend on that really, really, truly need it. But you have a major portion of that. They don't deserve any of it. They do not deserve any of it. And I hope they follow through on their threats, although I hope nobody gets hurt, so we can put them in jail. That's right. And they lose their benefits for a lifetime. That's what needs to happen to these people that are getting on there, making these videos, bragging how they're going to steal. If you're going to steal, you need to go to jail, and you need to lose those benefits. And I don't care how many kids you got. The kids will go to the state, and they will go to new homes. They will probably be much better off. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.